take it with you. Yeah, that's where we're gonna go today. You can't take it with you. People gonna try. Volume down. Oh, my share. What's my Facebook memory? Oh, what a disgrace. Oh, Bob Marley. Oh, what a disgrace to see the human race in a rat race. Oh, what a disgrace to see the human race in a rat race. Let me share this with you. How's everybody doing this morning? Thanks for sharing. This is Gerard Kenyatta coming to you. And I don't even know what that means. That's just, it's a name. Parents came up with it. So. I said it with meaning though. Gerard Kenyatta. Like it means something. I want a new name. Can I get a new name? I want a name like Bare Feet. I want a name that has meaning. Not the name we were given. Good morning. Monday morning. Let me see. Noises. What's that? Oh man, I'm gonna get too loud too quick. Have some work done. Please proceed on this planet like you're in steerage. If you're in steerage, all right. Coming to you from the Texas Titanic this morning because I damn sure couldn't do it when the Titanic was floating. So, what did Bob say? Oh, what a disgrace to see the human race in a rat race. It's disgraceful. It's pitiful. It's pitiful. It's pitiful to see people in the rat race. What I would do, I get loud this morning, but I'm a bigger. I can hear something in the background. Some people working outside. All right, what am I doing? Stay focused. Focus. I have to first share the video. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate that. We are on the decks of the Titanic today. Enjoy it, because you would never. The only time you see the deck is going to steerage. That's it. That's the only time I see the deck. I will hear, oh my goodness, they get me up on the deck. All right, well, you know what? Did steerage have a back door? They might have had a back door like at lower levels you can enter so you don't have to mingle with the billionaires and the millionaires. Let me share the video. That's what I'm talking about today. You can't take it with you. You cannot take it with you. Please proceed on this planet like you're in steerage. Stop worshiping your elites. Stop worshiping the system. Stop worshiping the model. Stop worshiping the worshipers of the system and the model. Get rid of your golden calf. You don't need the golden calves. I think all of it's like a thing and has something to do with like low self-esteem. You gotta worship people with wealth. You gotta worship the hoarders. Want to become the hoarders. Anyway, I got that next. Alright. Let's see. Boom. I actually did look at the news this morning. We did comments up, see what y'all talking about. But seen the news in probably almost a week. I just have not been paying attention. I get to sleep out my house. I have not been paying attention because I really don't care. I don't care, but I did look a little bit today. Alright, YouTube. What's YouTube? Let me see. Y'all still there? Let me see. The sun was playing with my device. I can't find it. Good morning. Happy Monday. Who's that? Ivana? Happy Monday. Good morning, Norris. Howdy. Is that a Woody? Howdy. I know it's a little cowboy reading. Howdy. But now, because I'm a parent, to me it's just Woody from the Toy Story. Howdy. Somebody poisoned the water hole. You know, but that actually might make a good video. Somebody poisoned the water hole. Who poisoned the water hole? Oligarchs. Good morning, Keanu. Good morning, old friend from Baltimore. See, Brother John is in the house. And Lord, we have a brandy on the deck, like gentlemen. While we listen. Near my God to thee. Yeah, we would not have no brandy on that deck, Lord. You would not. They would not let you on that deck. This is the Titanic. Let me get situated. This is the deck of the Titanic. You go, you steerage girl. You down with me? coals and fires and stuff. We need to act like that. Act like we're gonna be shoving coals and fires. Good morning, everybody. It's Titanic. I just want to let everybody know, because we all, it's funny, like these old sayings that our parents and our grandparents had, where you actually, it's gonna be loud, where you actually believed it, but then you would live something different. That's where I kind of feel we are. We're kind of in that space. We all believe, yeah, you can't take it with you. You can't take it with you. Let me change my picture. Let me tell you something. You can't take it with you. Then all of a sudden, people try to take it with them. I don't want to go there. That's steerage. Although that would be fun to start thinking about. I'll show y'all. That's here you go. Can't take it with you. All over this planet. Treasures buried with the elites. Everybody wants to be. Everybody wants to worship. Good morning. Who's that? Brother John Sensei Gerard? Ain't no Sensei Gerard, man. I ain't no Kung Fu nothing. I'm steerage, brother. I'm steerage. I'm down here in the dirt, just looking around saying, we probably shouldn't keep doing this. Brother David is in the house, and Lord, and Alan, Heidi. Hey, got a question. Good morning, Jasmine Mayer. Got a question. What happened to steerage on the Titanic? Where they at? Where are they at? Did it work out too good? Did it work out good for steerage? Worshipping their elites. Did y'all see the other deck, the Olympic decks? The Olympic deck. You ever look at the decks? Now I don't go to the Olympic deck. You ever look at the different deck layers? You had the squash, the racket courts, you had baggage, you had first class and second class, you had the steward class. Wait, let me move that up. There we go. And they got third class. See the bunks right here? The bunks? Yeah. Please proceed on this planet like you live on this bunks. It's gonna be loud. That's work time. You gotta have a good weekend. Because it's funny to me. Now they're doing the election campaign fundraising. I guess Joe Biden started his fundraising, Bernie Sanders, and his fundraising. When the elites come to us, the millionaires, the puppets that work for the elites, actually, because they're just puppets. They want a higher deck level. We're down to steerage, so they come down to steerage. I don't know, are we third? No, we're not third class. Steerage is below third class. We didn't get bunks. I think we were like in a hole or something. Some coal. We just sleep on the coal. And they come down there and ask us for money, and of course we give them the money. But they want to be propelled. The puppets probably live in third class. The politicians, they want to move up to the gymnasium. They want to be able to go to the racket courts. They want to, they want to be able to sniff the leather from the fresh package from the doctor. All right, let's start off dressed up this morning. I'm kind of dressed up every day for the most part. Can't really see it on camera. I was raised in that age. I was indoctrinated, Ivana, to know when you go to town, you're supposed to wear your suit. That's what we do. We dress up. Come on. I don't watch TV or the news, but have seen the terrible events of Sri Lanka. Yeah, did you see that? Being posted. You can't take it with you. Or you can't take it with Sri Lanka being posted, you can't take it with you seems quite appropriate considering how many rich people seem to have lost so much in life. Yeah, well, it's just a weird psychopathic thing. Yeah, I think that when you really fall and decide that you want to be the betters, a lot of bad things befall you. I saw what happened in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka bothered me because let me turn the music. The music's loud. Y'all ain't telling me music is real loud. There we go. That should be better. So I was looking at Sri Lanka, and that's with all the explosions that were happening. Everybody, I guess, they find the guys. They arrested 7 suspects, and they were blown up. They blew up the Christian church and some hotels or something, so they think it was religious. And you just look back at the ancient wisdom, the wisdom that they've been handing down. They said, if you're divided up, you will have conflict. That's just how it works. You can't divide up and not have conflict. You will always have conflict. And so, it's a shame. It is an absolute shame that we still have people on this planet that feel they need to divide themselves and they need to be a different class of human being, a subclass, that human being just isn't enough. And so as long as you have groups, you'll have conflict. So if anybody feels bad for what happens in Sri Lanka, religious conflict, then maybe you need to rethink your religion thing. We got through Easter Sunday, and I just sit here and you know how many times they probably said amen in the church this weekend? Amen, amen, brother, amen. How many times they say Yemen? Yeah, they didn't say Yemen once, I bet you. Did your church say Yemen? You want to go to a church say Yemen? They said amen. Ain't nobody say Yemen. But you get divided up in these groups. And once you're divided up, they will use you for conflict. Why? Because you want to feel good like the pastor, the preacher. Maybe you want to be one. You want to be a deacon. You want to be a trustee. You want to elevate yourself the same way people do in corporate America and everywhere else. You join the group. You start off in steerage, and you want to start working your way up by stepping on other people to get to the top. It's always a pyramid. It's always lonely at the top. One, because you got to become a psychopath, and two, steerage needs a whole lot of people to hold them up. We can fix those things, can't we, Debbie? We can fix them. We can fix them. And I think the yellow vest, they got their finger on it. And I don't know if it's the right way in your country to step out in the street. I live in a police state, but freeing the human race. Freeing people, no longer enslaving them to subclasses of anything, no longer enslaving them beneath the decks in this philosophy that you can take it with you. Because your treasures will always end up on the bottom of the ocean. The only thing that you can treasure is what you leave behind inside people's minds. You will be forgotten. If you try to live this life trying to shove money in a bank account, trying to put more jewels around your neck, you will be forgotten. Your jewelry will end up at the bottom of the ocean. It'll just end up in a pawn shop somewhere, a jewelry shop. It'll be sold because your kids, they'll want the money too. They don't have any interest in your china, your fine china. Y'all remember fine china as a kid? Fine china, you couldn't touch it. It was in the closet. When my parents died, I'm going to sell all that fine china and not give a damn about it because I will climb to the top too. In this land of McMansions. That's what I was thinking about this weekend. Took out some driving this weekend, wasn't online much. It's not all the McMansions. Everybody wants to be the best. Everybody wants to buy a massive house and show how successful they are. Why they fight climate change? Living in a McMansion, walking and complaining about climate change and CO2 levels or war or anything else that actually is required so you can live in a McMansion, so you can have a nation full of people that don't live in steerage, that live high in these big, massive communities. That's all I see going up, these big developments. You couldn't pay me to live in those things. Sorry, if you do, and I'm glad that works for you. It doesn't work for me. I don't like talking about things and not being about it. I'm not interested. I don't even like going in McMansions, to be honest with you. I go there and it's just so much space, and of course it's all toxic, and in 5 to 10 years things start falling apart. The first homeowners are actually, they'll sell it within 5 or 10 years. So the dishwashers start breaking the oven because they just make crap houses now. I don't want anything to do with none of that. I have no interest in their world. I'm not trying to take it with me. The only thing that you leave behind is what you do for people. The good things. People remember. They'll remember. They'll tell tales of you. They'll tell stories of the good things you did for this planet, how this planet or the community or wherever you live is so much better because you were alive. They won't tell any damn tales about your television. They got friends who've been 50, 60, 70. They're getting bigger than that. Big old televisions. The ones now they got the poster ones you roll out and put them on the wall. Nobody's going to tell tales of you that. Nobody's going to tell tales of you riding through the hood and your 2020 rims. Nobody's going to tell the tale of the sparkle color paint that's on your car. No one's telling tales of that. No one's even telling tales of the Rolls Royce. Nope. No one's going to tell any tales of that. The only thing that you leave lasting on this planet is the good things you do while you're here. That's it. We need to reprogram our subconscious mind. Yes, Brother Rob, we do. We need to reprogram it, but first we need to wipe it. I think that's step one. Y'all disagree with me if you like. I think step one is get rid of the indoctrination. Everywhere you find it, empty your cup, refill it with something delicious and nutritious and that works on this planet. and playing pyramid Ponzi schemes with currency and monetary systems, trying to get higher on the decks of the Titanic. Brother Rob, I don't think that'll work. I don't think that'll work at all. Good morning, Kia. So I don't know what we're going to talk about. So a bunch of stuff in the news. We can go in another direction. I'll let y'all drive the conversation. I'm tired. I'm working all weekend. Irish stuff on the boat. When the Irish stuff on the bottom of the boat fun. Yeah, well, I think they got to sing songs down there, Lori. I think they could sing songs, the same way the slaves had the songs, same way, people now got the earbuds so they can listen to music, make them feel good about a life that's not their own. Somebody hashtagging Sarah Connor. Uh-oh. Yeah, the Terminator's coming. It's coming. Losing jobs disappearing. Economy's doing great, though. Y'all see that? The economy's doing fantastic. Right? The economy's moving forward. People making less and less money, though. Because more of that money is funneling to the top. And eventually it's going to trickle down. Just open your mouth. Let it in. If it's yellow, just pretend it isn't. Maybe it's gold. It's not pee. Maybe it trickled through the gold that trickled down to us. Let me see. That's why I'm not all that interested in your 2020s. I'm not interested at all. I'm a remain in my neutral position. Y'all I know you think you're gonna fix the world with these people. Go ahead. I've been alive too long for that dance anymore. I'm not doing that dance. I'm not picking, who is the least of the killers. I don't really care. There's no least of the killers. There's killing and there's not killing. And everybody in the 2020s, they all killers. All of them. Everyone I looked at. Not interested. So I'm going to remain in my neutral position as America goes back into the ignorant land of picking the next ruler so that can change the economy so they can climb to a higher level and get out of steerage and leave the rest of everybody in flea bottom. Brother Mike, good morning. Good morning. Let me see. Then there's no class. No, Maria, there is no class because people don't have class anymore. People don't have class. Maybe they want to be classy. But everything has always been about a class struggle. Everything has always been about people on the bottom trying to climb on other people to get on top of them so they can take it with them. Can't take it with you. Wax on, wax off. Well, sissy, I'm not sure. That's a Mr. Miyagi. I'm not sure we're wrong with that one. Creepy Joe is officially running. I know he's officially running, Ivana, and he's got his campaign. Is that what y'all want to look at? Y'all want to look at the campaign stuff? He started taking money from the poor people. I just sit back here now. I'm just looking at this stuff, Ivan, like, oh, Lord have mercy. You got to be kidding me. It's the only time they come down to flea bottom, they come below steerage because people believe in them and want to send them their hard-earned dollars to millionaires. People who live in gated communities that they don't get to go see. It's going to be a ride. Hold on. It's going to be a ride. And they're still saying Mueller did it. They're still after Russia, boy. They can't wait to get that World War III. Anything to get to World War III. You see barnacles on the boat now. Yeah, Debbie, the barnacles on the boat now. That's what they are. That's what happened to steerage. I think that's what always happens to steerage. I think we always end up with barnacles on us at the bottom of the ocean. Let me see. Can y'all hear now? Let me move down. I turned the music way down. See if that worked out. The slave class, yeah, John, we are the slave class. Live like your steerage. Act like your steerage. Do what you need to do like your steerage. No, please, don't do politics. She's like, he has seen enough. She's like, no, YouTube. No, let's not do that. See, the fun part for me, Kia, I don't have anyone political around me. They don't say nothing else. They don't say nothing to me anymore. They don't say anything to me there. Because I don't play with them. They don't text me with stuff. They don't email me stuff. They'll send me pictures. They'll send me all that, but they won't put any politics around me because I look right back at them and I'll say things like, did you go to church this weekend? Oh, you did? Did you learn anything? Oh, did you go to temple this week? Did you learn anything? Oh, you got kids. Oh, yeah. Do you know anything about the future and what you're leaving for them? I posted a picture this weekend. Y'all see that picture? I posted a, I love nature. I love nature, and I look at nature, and I like to let it drive my thought. We used to always observe nature, and nature was how we learned. Let me find this picture. I hadn't made a meme in a minute, and I saw this picture in the zoo. I thought, thought came to my mind. Everything for me usually is about children. think that's the only reason we're here, is to do something better for them and not just be little ignorant, greedy bastards trying to climb to a higher level on the decks of the Titanic Earth. So let me see if they left it up. They like to delete my stuff. I'm a little naughty. I put stuff up. They like to delete it. I think I'm finally being watched. I'm completely anti-establishment. I'm completely not choosing a side. Where's this picture at? Nope, I'm still there. Let me show you this to you. This is where I was looking at this weekend. I saw this picture here. But I think there are examples everywhere. There's so many examples we can use. Let me see if this will come out clear. Move it over. Because I see pictures. Oh, no, did I tell you about the snake? Yeah, I told you about the snake. We did the snake. Things always happen to me. I don't know. It's just my life. All right, here we go. See this picture right here? There's a little girl in the zoo, and she's trying to touch the tiger. She's trying to touch the lion. Just trying to touch the lioness. And you got the parent right here. See, this is how I looked at it. This was the next. Let me move my big head out the way. This is how I kind of looked at this picture. I saw this picture, and the example I saw is the parent with the camera and the selfie, taking a picture of the lion. Oh, how cute, honey! Look, the lion's trying to tickle Molly. No, the lion is not trying to tickle Molly. You know how I looked at this? I look at this like the next generation, right? The next generation, like, oh, you're supposed to be trying to prepare them for the next generation instead of preparing them. You're like taking a picture, and the lion is an example in my mind. That was like the oligarchy we're leaving behind, right? We keep doing the same thing but expecting a different result. We know we live in an oligarchy, but people want to act like that voting works. We know the bourgeoisie run everything, but we constantly want to continue to get behind them to help us. And I feel like parents, like, we're leaving the next generation something that they're not prepared to deal with. Something that they're not prepared to deal with. Now, sure, we got protection because we got that glass in front of us. The oligarchs aren't ready to roll out whatever and the Terminator, hashtag Sarah Connor. But we're not preparing them. They're just like, oh, the pretty lion. We're just taking pictures and we're safe behind a glass. Well, one day that glass is going to break. One day that glass is going to break, and the next generation is going to have to deal with us constantly kicking the can down the road because we are cowards. We don't get how the system works. So I kind of like that. I think nature has great examples of everything. Everything. Ivana said they got them. They were Islamists. Okay. Well, that's what I said. If you got the label, you will be used for conflict. If you are labelable, if you have barcoded your children, if you raise them to have a barcode, somebody is going to use that barcode against them. And we have example after example. This constantly happening. Good morning, Susie. Good morning, Courtney. Pyramid sale is over. What's the pyramid sale, Debbie? You're selling the pyramids, but it's interesting. The same thing the Egyptians, right? They thought they could take it with them. They wanted to take it with them. Doesn't work that way. I think that's a part of life, like a life lesson, Debbie, a big one that people never learn. You cannot take it with you. They like to say it all the time, but they try. They'll do anything they can to follow in the footsteps of those who are now dead and buried somewhere. And the next generation comes to dig up the jewels and toss the body in a museum or burn it up or eat it. Did y'all know about that? In Europe, they used to eat the mummies. That was a thing. They used to, going back not long ago, 200 years, it was an herb to take the mummies. What was it called? Was it bitumen? What was the name of the pyramid mummies? Like, that's how mummy got his name. Is mama something was an herb. They would take and and eat the next generation and eat the last generation and take their jewels. Didn't work out too well for the Egyptians. I think we can learn from these lessons. I think we can. Good morning, Victoria. Good morning, Eileen. They're having to work for the jackets. They start with vests. Are we all talking about the yellow vest? The yellow vest, it got violent this weekend. Let's take a peek at that. Let's take a peek at them brothers. And brothers and sisters are getting rowdy out there. And they should. They're listening to Plato. I don't know if they're doing the right thing, but they're daggone sure listening to Plato. They know that they got an infestation of corporate rulers. People in America hadn't figured that out yet. They hadn't figured out who the Democrats and Republicans work for. They have no idea that they're just trying to take it with them. They're trying, and they will leave you deep under steerage. Let me go over there. I thought I saw something where they were, am I in the wrong place? I'm in the wrong place. Because it got violent this week. And they're out in the streets, and the only place I can really see it where I live is on RT News. On RT News, I see it. I don't see it anywhere in nowhere on mainstream media. They don't talk about the yellow vests. They don't talk about them at all. It's just pretty hush, kept pretty darn quiet. They don't want steerage in an outrage. They're above decks at the racket court. Swimming pool. Did you know the Titanic had a swimming pool? The Titanic had a daggone swimming pool. All right, let me see where we at. So we're all over the yellow vest. What is this? The Sri Lankan blasts. And the blasts will keep happening. We need more security. No, you actually don't. You need to teach people to stop grouping up. Oh, there was something else. Did y'all see the Lego thing? Lego now has death Legos. What y'all think about that? The death Legos? We can look at the yellow vest, but they had the death Legos. I'm actually curious what y'all think about this. So now with the death Legos, you can have like the little cremation. Hold on, let me start at the beginning. It's for kids. It's for kids. Can you see the whole thing? Oh, this is messed up. Hold on. Right there. So you can have your own little cremation and dead people, and you got the dead people, and you got the casket. Yep, got a little guy in the bones, and you got the procession. And so you can actually...
We have many questions from parents.
Oh, listen to his explanation.
What should they do with their kids if there's a funeral? What happens to the grandfather or something? The kids ask them. And so we're thinking about products to help kids to process their grief. So we have established a new product made of Lego components. This is a Lego crematoria, a Lego cemetery, and the family who is in grief for the loss to deceased people and the skeleton, and the horse tram. Children, to processing grief, children have their own rules. It's better for children to process it with playing. And it's not meant to be playing without advice from their parents with these Lego products. It's for therapists and also for parents who want to describe their kids to process what happened to the grandfather or something else.
John, think about that. What society needs is more.
Yes, there are a lot of people who are reflecting on this.
Yeah, Echo. Yeah, we need more morticians. I look at it. Not my kids. Not mine. No. I don't know. I see a couple things. Number one, Lego didn't do this to help kids. Let's be honest. Lego did this to sell Legos. That's just cut to the chase. Lego did it to sell Legos. So don't try to sell me on advertising you're trying to help kids. I'm not interested in your lies. That's number one. Number two, no, my kids won't have it. No, my kids won't have it. If you want to give it to your kids, I'm fine with that, but mine won't have it. Because you know what? To me, what it does is it reinforces this idea of fear of death. Like, yeah, like, what's a normal process? Well, I don't think people die. I don't think you die. I think your body dies. But there's more to life than that. Beyond that, you just go to the next level or the next dimension. You float around in some energy or whatever you do. Burn down in the ground and rejoin the microbiology in the ground, and your energy joins in them and recollects in a multicellular organism. I have no idea, but I don't think that's the end. But to me, that's how we got farmed, right? Like it was that acceptance of fear, putting the fear in. You only got a short time to live, so you got to collect as much as you can before you die. I don't think dying's a bad thing. I think dying probably is a good thing. I call it an ascension. I call it a transcendence. You transcend from the ignorant place we are as biological, moronic creatures and go to something better. I don't know. My kids, I ain't messing with that. I'm not gonna get there. It's I think you help kids to figure out how to get through this, but that's not their intent. and the way my mind works, I'm not interested in that. Things die and they move on to something else and you keep moving. I don't think you got to spend a whole lot of time in like focusing and keeping them focused on the fear of death. To me, that's what that does. Not interested at all. Flesh dies, frequency continues, whether good or bad depends on the soul. Yeah, that's interesting, Daniel. That is an interesting one. That's why I say I know the churches were all focused on amens, not yamens. I still pose that question to people. What you think's going to happen to you if your God comes back again? So I can't affiliate with any groups. Here we go, the yellow vest. I'm not sure which one I looked at. There's something like 83 people were arrested. And meanwhile, they were somewhere else. They had some big protest, and they were throwing rocks and sticks at the police, and the police were just there. There was a hydro dam going up, and they were throwing rocks and sticks, and the police weren't even reacting. They were just trying to keep themselves from being hit by rocks. Let me look at the yellow vest, but let me go back, because I do want to find that. And that actually work for the people, police that actually protect the people. Police that actually show restraint for citizens. They're not just guards for oligarchs and the bourgeoisie class. Police that show restraint. Police that know they're a part of the community, not there to just dominate it and secure it. Where's it? Is it Georgia? Yeah, it's Georgia. The Georgians. Let me show you this. People flipping out over a hydro dam. You see the police? They're just backing up, protecting themselves. You know what happened? This happened in America. You would not hear rocks hitting shields. America does not have police that think that they're a part of the community. But now we do. We got a lot of them. That's not their job. They want to be a part of the community. I think most of them, they just want to actually do the job. Look at this. This is insane. These people are flipping out, punching, got sticks, swinging. Look at that, jumping over top, and all those police down armed. I think they got them right. What are you gonna do? That's what it looks like when you got police that are actually a part of the people. They get the look at grandma, get it. They know they're a part of the community, and they're just providing a service. Maybe they don't have guns, but they are just really highly trained, and they know that they're a part of the human race. They know they're in steerage, and they know steerage gets upset when they don't have no food. Okay, looks like they use rubber bullets and tear gas to disperse them. Imagine that. Where's Georgia? This ain't Atlanta, Georgia. It's not Atlanta. It ain't gonna happen in Atlanta, Georgia. That's not how that went down. That's not how that story would be wrote. And of course they're gonna go forward with the hydro dam anyway. I found it to be interesting. Non-lethal weapons. What kind of government does that? Gives their police force non-lethal weapons. Non-lethal. I guess that's a government that actually feels that they're a part of the. I mean, I guess they're the betters. They're still in the upper decks to a degree. Or trying to climb up out of steerage, but they're using non-lethal weapons on their neighbors. Like they don't want to kill the poor people that are at the bottom of the pyramid because they're upset about a hydro dam. That's why I think 2020 talking about non-lethal weapons. All right, there you go. That's a good question. Where's Key at? I think 2020 talking about non-lethal weapons for all the police forces and the FBI and CIA and deep state, Homeland Security. Anybody talking about giving the police force non-lethal weapons to not shoot and kill and murder citizens, from Lavoy Finnecom to Chris? I forgot the brother's name. Did anybody talk about that? No, they're just talking about making money, oil, colonization. That's it. East of the Black Sea. Is that where it is, Mark? Okay, all right. It's kind of like watching The Walking Dead. It is, sissy. It is. And it's not, wait a minute, was it scarier? Is The Walking Dead scarier or watching your family and friends being political? Which is scarier? I'm not sure which is scarier. Let me go back up to the upper decks. I won't be on the lower decks too long. Back to the upper decks. Where's Georgia? A line from the cold mountain. Yeah, well, no, it's not Atlanta, Georgia. This is the country, Georgia. Let me see. Drones Peace Force soon. Well, the drones, yeah, they got that Peace Force that's coming, Mark. And once they get their 5G, you don't have to worry about it. Sarah Connor, they're going to find Sarah Connor real quick. They're going to find it. Good morning. Good morning, Brother Kevin. Let me see. Did I see a policeman throwing rocks at the police line? I thought I saw that too, Augustine. I thought I saw like he threw a rock back. It's okay to get upset, but maintain your calm and your cool. Like, you get up. There's nothing wrong with getting upset, right? People hit you with rocks and sticks and what does Antifa use? Urine balloons. People hit you with stuff. You're going to get upset. But what do you do with that, right? You can get upset that the world ain't going right, but what are you doing with that, right? Are you making a good decision out of that? Or are you making a bad decision, right? And the way I see it is that, yeah, we shouldn't be happy with the way the world is going. The world is not going in any positive direction, but what are we doing with it? Are we looking at the root cause and attacking the root problem that the system and the model was designed to do this to keep us all in conflict? Are we joining up with another side to get more people to send more money to Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders or Trump or the other lady, Luann, AOC? Is AOC running? And why they call the girl AOC? That's kind of, I don't know if that's racist, that's acronymist. Why would you call somebody's baby an acronym? That I don't even get that. Be calm, have inner peace, right, Lord? Well, when you got that peace, you can make good decisions, right? When they got you outraged and emotional, then they control you. And that's all they do on the upper decks. That's all they do. Like, because they're all in league together with you being down there. Now, up here, they might be playing poker. They might be playing backgammon. They got their brandy and trying to take each other's money. But the one thing that they completely agree with, from the tops of Russia to America to Canada, to all over, all of them agree. AOC, from Trump to Bernie Sanders to Barack Obama to May and Merkel and Putin, they all agree that they belong up here. And you don't. They all agree. That's one thing they all got in common. They might get you fighting over a whole bunch of other stuff, but they agree where they belong and where you belong. And if you gotta fight your way up, be a psychopath collector like they are to be up there. They agree. They'll go to the squash court together. Is that the squash court? Yeah. They don't go to baggage to get their baggage. They ain't gonna do that. The gymnasium, they go to the gymnasium together while they convince you that they're fighting. It goes, like, half the time, I think this whole Mueller thing, I think Trump loves it. I think he might even be behind it. I think that he's just pushing on, because there's nothing there. There's nothing there, ain't gonna find nothing there. But it's good, and the DNC love it, and the GOP love it, and everybody get together and love it. Why? Because it's a lot of money to keep people fighting. It makes a lot of money. A lot of money. Money isn't made in peace. Money isn't made in stability. Money isn't made in taking care of people. Money is made in taking intellectual people, making them emotionally stupid, getting them to support things that just make no sense at all. At all. Oh, just rewatched Elysium last night. Seems so plausible for Earth's future, except the happy ending. Come on, folks. Seems inevitable to me. Maybe not in my lifetime because I'm pretty old, but it really seems plausible. It does, Brother Don, and I tell people, watch Elysium. It's a documentary. Watch Elysium. It'll explain it to you. Just look at history, right? Of course it's in the future. Why? Because it's in our past. There's always that breakaway civilization. They always want to put us in holes somewhere, and bad times come. We done shoved all our resources up. We shoved all our money trying to shove other people beneath us. And those on the upper decks, they collected all that. They prepare for the bad times. And there's always that breakaway civilization. They don't share that technology with us. Like, do you have a Rolls Royce? Nope. You don't have a space station either, do you? Nope. They didn't get an invitation. You don't even know it's there. Half the time we don't even know. That's why I say, Brother Don, there shouldn't be any secrets. Mumbles. I don't know what mumbles are, Jimmy. What are we talking about? Hearing tests and wax removal, maybe. Captions for the deaf anyone. Let me see what's happening. We yell about it. We get heartsick over it. We wonder why things don't change. Because we get emotional, and emotional people are easy to play. They play us all the time. Let me see, what is the name of this noise loop? It's a noise loop, Jimmy. Y'all like the background music? What's the name of that? This is a piece by somebody. Who's this by? New Dawn. It's called New Dawn because we need some new dawn. Dawn always comes up. We need a dawn. We need to remember it's always darkest before the dawn. Good times are always ahead. And I don't think there's such thing as noise in music. Somebody composed it. I believe it's got to be beautiful. Jimmy just needs a celery cleansing. What? And an enema. What happened? What I missed something. Y'all fussing about. Let me see. Why go on a stream to complain the whole time? What's come up? Well, hang on. Y'all tell me what's going on. Let me get in the conversation. I want to be in the conversation. Jimmy's on a mission. What's Jimmy's mission? I'm gonna go up then. Okay, y'all pull me into it. What are we talking about? Somebody give it to me succinctly. What are we talking about here? What I miss? What did I miss? Let me see. Oh, there's other good comments I missed higher up. What's going on, Jimmy? What's wrong, brother? Something. What's happening? Somebody state to me what we're supposed to be talking about. What mission is Brother Jimmy on? Ain't no little old ladies picking up rocks in our neighborhood. No, Victoria, they're not. They used to, though. Grandma used to have a shotgun. Yeah, you go ahead and step in her rose bushes. Now, she wouldn't shoot you. She put the buckshot in there, but she scared the hell out of you. But those little old ladies are gone. They were tough. I mean, you think about people born in 1910. Think about people born before that. These people were made of metal. These were real survivors. These were real independent people that controlled their world and solved their own problems. We're not raising people that way. We're raising people the way we're indoctrinated to. We're raising them to be dependent on the system, right? And dependent on the drugs, dependent on the government, dependent on the water and infrastructure, right? Why? Because the more dependent we are on the upper decks, the higher those decks can go and the lower they can push us down in steerage. What I'm saying? Can't hear you clearly over the music. No, okay, that's the problem. You can't hear over the music. Jimmy's an expert. Jimmy's apparently an expert sound something. Okay, can y'all hear me? Am I talking to myself? It sounds like people can hear. I hear fabulously, darling. Okay. Jimmy's disrupting your conversation, typing in all caps. Okay. Gerard, Jimmy's posting complaints about his sound engineering expertise and disapproval of your background music. Oh, goodness, this happened before. This is conflicting. This is a little conflicting. But Jimmy, I like background music. Some people don't. I do. You know why I like music? I like music because it keeps me calm. It keeps me level, right? I feel that the topics that we have to address as adults, they're not good ones. They're not, I'll give you an example. We're addressing topics that are quite ugly. And one that I always go to, one that I always spend time on, it's one that's hard to talk about. I have to get on here because I feel that I'm obligated to. I have a lot of privilege and supremacy, and I need to help people best I can. So I have to be able to, let me see, this right here. I have to be able to look at pictures like this and not with tears in my eyes. I need to be able to look at pictures like this of these kids and realize they're in a horrible place. And the only way I find out, brother, I can do that is if I balance it out with just calming music. I don't want to get upset. I want to make a difference, right? I want to bring change. And if I get upset, then they can blame me, like we were talking about earlier. Emotions betray us, right? Emotions make us illogical. I want to be calm, So I have to be able to look at things like this and say, this is wrong. I need to be able to talk to people in the church and say, you're in the church. Yeah, I'm in the church. You in the church? Yeah, I'm in the church. You love Jesus? I love Jesus. I go to Easter Sunday. Yeah, you went to Easter Sunday. Did your pastor say anything about the children that were starving? No, he didn't. Well, why didn't he? Why is your minister there? What was your minister told to do? Are they here to make a difference? They're here to make money. Do they drive a Cadillac? Do they have a mega church? Did he have a Rolex? Does he got a gold watch? Does his wife have a 7-carat diamond ring from Conflict Minerals? And are you sure that's the church that you're supposed to be in? Are you sure that church has your faith? And the only way I can do that, Jimmy, if I remain calm. Like I'm one of the calmest people I know. I sound like Donald Trump for a minute. I put my hand up. I'm one of the calmest. But this is one thing that actually is pretty true about me. It's a little creepy sometimes to me. Is I really don't get upset. I don't like to get upset, Jimmy. I don't like to get upset because when I get upset, I know people can play me. I know when I get upset, I do things I regret and I say things I regret. And it's really hard to look at what this world is doing to the weakest. We don't have that calming. So I need calming music to kind of look at these things. And I'd rather laugh more at the ridiculousness that we keep this system going than be frustrated and angry. And who needs another yelling and screaming person on the internet, yelling and screaming, acting a fool, saying extreme things? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So I like it. I like the mix up. Let me see. Did I see a policeman? Got that. Music is a bit loud today. Plus, I prefer my own background music. Oh, okay. Is it loud? Okay. So we got multiple people saying it's a little loud. I am gonna have to wrap it up, though. I am actually gonna have to get going. I want to talk about steerage for a minute, only because I have a hard stop. I'll share some corporate America lingo with you because I spent too much time in corporate. Something's called a hard stop. I have a hard stop in I'm a minute over my hard stop in a few minutes. But a hard stop, it means I got things to do. I can't go on beyond a certain point. Wake up every morning struggling to survive in this pyramid of an earth. Let me see. Too much sugar ruins any recipe. What are we talking? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. What does too much sugar ruins any recipe? I agree with that. Too much of anything ruins everything. Too much water ruins things. Lori loves the music. Okay, knee-jerk reactions. Yes, Marie, and that's my point. If somebody can make you upset, then they control your emotions, just like a string. You know, if they can make you upset and get you emotional, they can get a knee-jerk reaction out of you. And if they're ready for that reaction, then they're playing. I don't like to be played. That's why I like to remain calm and think through things and process and read comments. Music helps me to do that. No other way I can look at bombs and explosions. Let me see. Shafiq, Brother G, we're all free to be. You are, be with you or not. You do you. And that's my point too, Brother Don. I like the feedback. I do. But I do have to be honest with you. Don is right. Brother Don is precisely right. I'm sovereign. I'm free. I pick and choose what I do. But I don't look at it like it's my thing. I want this to be my thing. I want it to be our thing. Brother Jimmy's definitely welcome to have his opinion. Everybody have their opinion. Like I said, I listen to everybody. Let everybody put their opinions out on whatever they like. But at the end of the day, if I had the button, I'm gonna choose the button. So I kind of play with the music to make sure that it works, but I have to be able to have balance in life. It's kind of like yoga, right? It's kind of like Qigong. It's kind of like Tai Chi. Everybody kind of has their thing to be sustainable, right? Everybody has things that get to them. And the only way you make it through this and maintain a high level of vibration is through that positivity. And so music is one for me. I like background, calming, Nora Jones, Jack Johnson, sometimes orchestra type music, a little jazz, early jazz, things that just kind of keep me mellow. You know, so I kind of like that. But no, not really my show, Lord. Half the time, like I said, I try to process and think about things. And curious as to what y'all think. So not really my show. Stubborn 2, you can turn it down. Okay, Stubborn 2, you can take that. I did turn it down, Nora. Is that? Actually, I turned it down, and I turned it up, then I turned it down, and I turned it up, because y'all keep telling me what to do. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution or prohibited by it to the states or reserved by the states, respectively, and to the people. Brother John, you and I, we agree 100% on that. We agree 1,000% on that. And prior to that, it was Native Americans, and we stole it from them. I totally agree. I think the federal government's on. I think that we need to undo this. I think we need to reboot this. I think we need to reboot back to more constitutional freedom times, leave everybody alone. I don't think they were too far from where we should have been when they created the Constitution. They messed up on who was a man and who was a woman and the rights of women and men. But short of that, well, with the categorization, But the rights of leaving everybody alone, if it's not explicitly spelled out, it's not even within the remit of the federal government. That's why we have a rogue organization called the federal government, which is completely unfederal. They're oligarchical. They're controlled by corporations. 100% agree. 100% agree. Let me see. The church can ring loud bells every day at noon. I can blast John Lennon music at noon. Yeah, but and it's funny, John Lennon was probably closer to where humanity should have been than most churches are. I'm not here to great churches. I just think that if you're on a mission and you tell me your mission is to save lives and feed people, give sight to the blind and give homes to the homeless and water to the thirsty, if you're here to solve problems and help people, I just want to see you doing it. That's all. I just want to see you doing it more than singing and dancing and building big mega churches. That's all. So it's not an anti-church thing. Like I used to be those people. Good morning, Maha. I'm just about to get out of here. It's time to assemble the militia, real militia, we the people, and stop this treasonous government, this domestic terrorist organization masquerading as the government for the people. Yeah, they are masquerading. I don't think it's time for militias though, John. I'm saying the whole violent revolution thing. Violence never solves anything. It just kicks the can down the road. It does more of that. Kicking problems down the road so that the next generation has to deal with it. And to me, it's kind of like this. Like we have a time. We need to stand down. That's what we need. We need to stand down these people. Because the next generation is going to have to deal with the results of that violence, right? So that's my problem. That's the only my problem. We need a peaceful militia. If anything, we need a love militia. We need people to come together and to stop joining up in subhuman groups and just become a part of the human race again. I think if everybody stood up and we all stepped down, they would fall, right? Because we're holding them up above decks. The upper decks are only there because you have so many bigger decks below. You got all these people down, pushed down into immense poverty. If people just walked away from, say, no, I don't want to shovel coal in the engine no more. I give up. I can grow my own food. I can get my own water, and I don't ignorant McMansion. I'm gonna go do my own thing. And if steerage did that, the boat wouldn't work. The Titanic would putter out. And if it sputters out, then they got to come up with a new scam to get you to go be a happy slave. And so I think they're very easy fixes. We don't deploy them, and we should work on deploying them. I do got to get out of here. So that was a quick one, but I started late. Let me see. Our government has bigger weapons. We need to separate communities first. Yeah, they do. Well, they have big weapons, Christine, and they will use them. They will use them. They're willing to use them, and they use them all the time. And so that's why we need a different strategy. Government wants violence. A government that spends as much as ours does on mass weapons of war, police states, they want the violence. They're ready to deal with it. They're ready to deal with it. That's why we can't go there. We need to stand down. We just need to walk away. It's a system. Like I said, systems, they require supporters. If people just walk away from the system collapses. That's the great thing about our problem. It's a very easy problem to solve. Stop supporting it. It's a very easy problem. That's why I stopped supporting it. Like I said, I'm passive. I'm a pacifist when it comes to your politics. I'm not supporting either side because all sides are killers. When we walk away, exactly, Victoria, when we choose peace, the next generation will have peace. But if we keep choosing war and conflict and pride in these subhuman groups, then that's what they're going to have to fight with. I'm always at the tail end. Yeah, Rick, well, I had to get going. That brother is. I had a hard stop at 10. I kind of kept it going a little further. But I have to go. Humans were once advanced because there was no violence. Any and all violence prohibits spiritual growth. And I believe that, Susan. I think that you take it on. I think that you take on conflict and violence. I think it becomes a part of you. Like when you're engaging, this is like what they call negative vibration. That's why I can't really spend a lot of time around people who vibrate negatively. The people they see problems everything's a problem. Everything's and they share that dark negative energy with you. I can't say that I understand it, but I vibrate on the level of staying positive. best that I can so I can solve problems. My brain is in the right place and I'm thinking about things the right way. I'm not emotional. Right? That's the only way that I can work through things. So I do try to spend more time in higher vibration areas, with higher vibrating people. So all the cool, Brother Rick. What is the cool? Let go of your ego. And that's it. So see, that's it. When people let go of their egos, great things happen. But when they use their egos and the ego becomes like a life motivation, it always becomes a thing of a competition. What can I take with me that I can't take with me? And they'll proceed with that. Check out Matt Kahn. I will do so, Brother Kevin. Thank you. Love and light. Checking in when you can. Check in when you can is what really matters. That's it, Brother Kevin. Check into the human race. People just check in, check out. Check in, check on people. And then go do your thing. But, always stay engaged. Don't disengage. This is the human race. We live or die together. Simple example. Given solution, the mob still rebels against the testamentary for professionals who make a living in the field. It's a living in the field. Simple example. Given solution, the mob still rebels against the testamentary for professionals who makes a living in the field. Brother Jimmy, I'm not sure where we're going with that. We aren't connecting that much as we usually connect. I'm not connecting this morning. I'm not sure why. And their egos too. Well, the ego, you can't have any, Lord. You can't have any ego. Just be a part. Just be a part. Just be a part. Love everybody. Be a part. Love everybody. Check it. You're always an inspiration to start it. Thank you, Brother Rick. I think we're supposed to do that best we can for each other. Y'all inspire me. That's the only reason I get on here. I got a lot of good people and we can disagree, but we love each other. And that's the most powerful, positive thing that I need in my day. It's good to disagree with people. You don't have to be on that same wavelength, but you want to go in that same direction. Most people here, they just want to fix the world. They want to leave something better than what we found. That's why I appreciate this group. I'm always late getting off of it. All right, doing my part, not to support the large corporate entities living sustainably, living sustainably. Energy, little things help. Then that's all that. But you know what, Brother Rick? I don't think they're little things. I think they're big things. Think about your life and your existence. Just doing things, living in a sustainable house, driving a more sustainable car, recycling, reusing, and fixing things. That's big to me. That's huge, right? From the grand scheme, people say, oh, that's little stuff. That's not little. That's everything, Brother Rick. Because how many people do you know? You probably know 1,000 people. How many people they know? Those 1,000 people know 100,000 people. What if just 10% of the people you knew saw Brother Rick? Like, you know what? Dang. Rick is right. Rick is right. We need to stop being hypocrites. We like to talk about the problems in the world, but we haven't done anything to change. But Brother Rick is changing. Maybe, I think I can do what Rick is doing. I think I can try to live a little more sustainable and start going in that direction, right? They see you growing food. They see you planting seeds. They see you with a garden, and they start going that direction. And I think all we need to focus on is taking those steps, taking those baby steps, looking in our own mirror, making those changes. And I think those baby steps are massive steps, in the grand scheme. I don't think they're little because a lot of people are always watching. All right. Listen, have a happy Monday, people. Just keep in mind you can't take it with you. Try to make your life a little more meaningful. Leave the things that better the planet, better the human race, and that almost is never a bank account. It's Gerard, got to get going. Y'all have a great day now.